share your screen. That way, yeah. And then I just did, I think, the entire screen. Can you do that? Oh, yeah. Just click on it. There. Share. Entire screen. And then just. Okay, oh, that looks good. Where you're at. Okay, cool. Yeah. It's working? Yep, it's working. Nice. Okay. Should we wait another one or just get started? Let's do which one? Okay, for the last ones I got here, where you guys have to make an account in here so we can work through the workshop. So, did everyone do so already? Yes? Perfect. All right, so I think we'll just get started from now. So hi everyone, welcome to our intro to AWS workshop. My name is Cecilia, I'm a workshop coordinator for DSI, and you guys can start scanning this QR code for the check-in, just to keep head count of attendance and everything for people coming in for our workshops. Okay, so, well, just so you know, throughout this workshop, if you guys have any questions or anything, feel free to just, interrupt me, raise your hand, whatever you want, to speak out loud. This is super chill, super informal. I just want something, so you guys can have like an introduction to what AWS is, and kind of have an idea of like different resources that you can use also to learn everything about like this platform. So yeah, Amazon Web Services is comprehensive cloud platform offering over 200 services globally. It provides on-demand computing resources that eliminate the need for physical infrastructure, enabling businesses to scale, innovate, and optimize costs. And so overall, the most important part, obviously, of AWS is its cloud computing feature. Cloud computing basically means on-demand delivery of resources over the internet with pay-as-you-go pricing, accessing computing power, storage, and databases on an as-needed basis from a cloud provider. So that's what makes AWS so powerful, and that's probably why we all know kind of what it is already, because it's something that you can access in a global level that you can just access from your laptop, your PC at work, wherever you want. So yeah, and just a little side note, I especially wanted to do this workshop because I wanted to share some of the experience I got in my past internship. I'm a senior now, actually, in the beginning, but yeah, I'm a senior studying data science, and my internship this past summer was with Amazon, actually, so we did, of course, use a lot of AWS, so that's why I specifically wanted to share my experience with you guys. So again, if you have any questions about that too, feel free to ask. So some of the key features that AWS has is its scalability, reliability, and the mixture of flexibility and cost efficiency. So scalability basically means that AWS allows for easy scaling up or down based on demand, making it ideal for both startups and large enterprises. Meaning that you don't need a massive data set to work within AWS. You can work with your little data set of however many people you're handling, or however many customers. Or you can also, amazingly, you can work with thousands and millions of data sets and values and super big data sets, so that you can handle those two different kinds of that allows for this scalability. Then we have reliability. So with a global infrastructure, AWS ensures high availability and consistency, minimizing downtime through automatic recovery from failure. So I think this is one of the key features that they most want to showcase when they're selling this service to their customers, right? Because they want to say okay, when you use, you're going to put all your data within our services. We're going to keep your data, but we're going to be super reliable. We're going to keep it safe. We're going to keep it secure. And at the same time, you'll be able to access it from anywhere as long as you use your services. And then the last feature is flexibility. plus cost efficiency. So AWS's pay-as-you-go model means users only pay for what they use and are able to choose the services they want to use, reducing upfront costs and infrastructure investments. So again, if you're a super large firm, super large enterprise that you need a bunch of services from AWS, you can choose to use those services. But again, if you're just a small startup or even like a student like us that just wants to learn a little bit more about this cloud platform, you can go in and you can easily use the different features and different services that AWS has without owning like some big company or having like tons of data that you want to handle, just by being curious and wanting to know the services. So why is it actually important to learn AWS? So of course, I would say the top thing of why it's most important is its global reach. These are only a few of the thousands of companies that use AWS on a daily basis. Don't think that AWS is just something that Amazon uses. It's used by like all these companies and so many more, just because their services are so accessible to everyone. And all of these different features that we went over just make it that like so many companies want to use these same features, and of course mix it with others. For example, like when I was looking at Meta, I was actually surprised that they used AWS because I figured they probably have like their own cloud platform service. But companies usually mix up like the different cloud platforms that they use. And one of the main ones that they rely on actually is AWS. So really interesting to know. And if you're looking for to intern in the future in one of these companies or any other company, they might use AWS. So it's definitely like some great experience to have like on your resume. Do some certifications online, some workshops like these, things like that. Will definitely help you out when starting to work like in places like this. So I wanted to share some resources that I found online, and all of these are free actually, so that's really good, of where you can learn AWS. Because AWS itself, again, as we mentioned before, is a pay-as-you-go service. Like it's something that you have to pay for whenever you use their services. It depends on like the storage that you use. It depends on the actual services that you're using, how much you use and how long, etc. But there's all these different resources that you can use to learn how to use AWS without actually having to be living a pay-as-you-go service and using the direct AWS console access, as you say. So first off, it's what we're going to use for our workshop, AWS Educate. Actually, well, for the people that got here after, we're going to be using this AWS Educate website, and you guys can go ahead and like start creating an account in here. The link is also in the Discord, so yeah, just go ahead and do that while I keep talking. But yeah, so AWS Educate, it's a super cool website. I had no idea that it existed. And it has a bunch of like hands-on labs that you can use in AWS, a bunch of their services, and it actually gives you access to the AWS console without like you having to pay for anything. So it's really cool that you can use a ton of their different services that we'll go over after, and do actual like practice, actual hands-on labs. So they give you the actual data, they give you step-by-step basis of what you actually have to do. So it's something I would encourage you to explore further. Then there's actual AWS free tier, it's called. So that's basically like creating an AWS account, like if you wanted to access the main services. But this free tier gives you 12 months free. So that's good, and you have direct access to the AWS console. The only thing that I've read a lot online, and I made the account for the 12 months free, but I read a lot that you just have to be careful because if you surpass like some type of amount of storage or something, or the amount of like time that you use a certain service, it might charge you. So just be careful about that. Like if you are curious of going into like the actual console and learning more within there, that's super good, but just like be careful about that. But it's also a good way to like get to explore the actual AWS console with your own data and like offloading your own data sets and everything. Then there's Cloud Essentials, which is basically a course that you can learn the Cloud Practitioner Essentials. It's a little less like hands-on, like workshops and labs and everything, but also a really good resource. Free code camp. You can mimic the steps in the AWS console, and you can follow also like workshops and PowerPoints that explain like things about the services, but you don't have the direct access to the console. Then there's these two, CloudQuest and CloudQuest Cloud Practitioner and AWS Simulator, that they're both they're like 85 kind of interfaces, so it kind of like encourages you to do like challenges and learning things like answer some questions about AWS and things like that as you go, and you learn like you earn points or something. So it's kind of fun. I mean, it's a way to like encourage you, I guess, like in a dynamic way to learn more about AWS. So yeah, definitely check these out. You can also earn badges that you can display like in LinkedIn and stuff, or online in social media and certifications through these websites. So definitely check them out. And these are all the free versions as I mentioned before. And I made this QR code just that has like the docs that has like all the links to the resources I went before. We're also going to share this in the actual Discord. So yeah, if you guys don't want to spend an hour or something, like all those resources are going to be in the Discord after, and you can like go ahead and like actually go into these resources yourself and learn a little bit more about AWS. So yeah, where to learn AWS, you can learn through all these different resources, and of course at the aside. So our workshop agenda. So first off, we're going to go over some of the most popular AWS services. We're going over like 7 or 8 of the services. Just like note that there's at least like 25 services that like those big companies that I showed you use on a daily basis. So we're just going over like the ones that are like really the most popular, but I mean just note that there's tons of more that you can go ahead and do. And then we're gonna go ahead and do a live lab using this AWS Educate resource that I told you guys about. So starting off with the AWS services. So first off, we're going to talk about EC2, which means Elastic Compute Cloud. So this is a virtual server in the AWS cloud. It's one of the top 1 most popular that a lot of companies use. It provides on-demand, scalable computing capacity in the AWS cloud. And it reduces hardware costs to develop and deploy applications faster, launches many virtual servers needed, configure security and networking, and manage storage. So imagine you have some big programs, big applications that you have to run. Like maybe you don't want to use your direct, like actual programs within your computer or your CPU, things like that. So you can use this virtual machines, virtual servers to actually run those things, and you're not directly like damaging your hardware or reducing your hardware costs, as this mentions. And the instance type that you use, because that's how Elastic Compute Cloud works. You guys will see, if we have time to do both workshops that I have planned. The instance type that you specify determines the hardware available to your instance. So each instance type offers a different balance of compute, memory, network, and storage resources. So yeah, it depends. Like you can just choose what type of instance you want to use for your Elastic Compute Cloud, and then from that you go ahead and like you can see like what it offers you and what is best for you in that sense. And then second, there's Amazon Relational Database Services, RDS. So this is a web service that makes it easier to set up, operate, and scale a relational database in cloud. So yeah, it's a service that allows you to handle relational databases. And it provides cost-efficient, resizable capacity for an industry standard relational database and manages common database administration tasks. And you can use within it MariaDB, Microsoft SQL, MySQL, Oracle Database, PostgreSQL. And it manages backups, software patching, automatic failure detection, and recovery. Some of the things that you guys will see actually kind of like pattern within all these services. One of the things that AWS wants to like portray the most is like we'll take care of all the maintenance, we'll take care of all the issues that will go on like in the back end part of the services that we handle, and you just have to like make sure of handling like your own storage part, your own data, your everything. So that's a really big thing because I mean companies can go ahead and like not waste so much time in like resolving like issues within like the services that they use and everything. AWS takes care of that, they resolve those issues, and then they just have to manage like their own like software and their own data that they're using. And so you can control the access within the company, let's say for the relational database service by using AWS Identity and Access Management, which we'll talk about a little after. That's all another like service within AWS. And this is just to define users and permissions and everything. So then there's Amazon S3. So this is an object storage service that offers industry-leading scalability, data availability, security, and performance. It's basically a way to store data, many different types of data, relational, and it's used to store and protect any amount of data for a range of use cases, such as data lakes, websites, mobile applications, backup and restore, archive, enterprise applications, IoT devices, and big data analytics. Actually, this is one of like the main things that I use like throughout my internship. Amazon S3, super cool way of like handling data. Probably, honestly, I think like many companies use this service just because it allows you to store data like so easily, and it's not like a big charge for like the company that's using it. So, and it provides management features so that you can optimize, organize, and configure access to your data to meet your specific business, organizational, and compliance requirements. And then basically like the step-by-step basis to store your data for an S3 bucket. First, you create a bucket and the bucket name and choose an AWS region. Then you upload your data to that bucket as objects, and this is what makes it like so accessible because like then AWS makes a key for each object, and this is like the unique identifier for the object within the bucket. And like Amazon S3 takes charge of making that data set, whatever you uploaded into an object, that takes like less space within the storage service. And yeah, it allows it to be like way more scalable and accessible for everyone. And then there's Amazon Lambda. So it's a serverless compute service for running code without having to provision or manage servers. This is like another service that I used in my internship. Really cool. I had to make like this Python function that had to make like a ton of API calls and everything like from within AWS services, Amazon data, sorry. And yeah, this was a really cool server that basically makes you like allows you to make this really big function in Python, or I think it allows PySpark as well, if I'm correct. And so yeah, you can run your code on high availability compute infrastructure, and it performs all of the administration of the compute resources, including server and operating system maintenance, capacity provisioning, and automatic scaling and logging. So yeah, what I mentioned before, like this is what AWS wants to portray. Like we'll take charge of all of the administrative part and all the like whatever issues that may be going on, so that you can go ahead and just like log in, and if you want to create your function, you can just go ahead and through this like serverless compute service. Again, all you need to do is supply your code in one of the language runtimes that Lambda supports. Organize your code into Lambda functions. The Lambda service runs your function only when needed and scales automatically. So, well, once I like show you the resources that we'll use and like the AWS Educate, you can actually like go into the AWS console, and you can explore a little bit more of what Lambda and like how it works. And you can actually like you can schedule functions to run like whenever something happens, or like depending on the amount of data you're taking in, like if there's some type of error, then it alerts and it will alert like other Amazon services. So yeah, and a really cool service that you can use, and probably a lot of companies use it as well. And then I wanted to talk about these last three services. So first, the one that I mentioned already, Amazon IAM, which means Identity and Access Management. So basically, it allows you to define individual users with permissions across AWS sources. And it's used to grant access to the AWS Management Console and AWS Service APIs. So it's all the permission stuff that goes on within AWS. If you want your employees to be accessed like a certain resource, certain API, everything like this is where you handle that. Then there's Amazon Athena that we'll be using for one of our workshops. I also worked with this one in my internship. So it's an interactive query service that facilitates data analysis directly in Amazon S3 using standard SQL. Athena SQL and Apache Spark are serverless, so there is no infrastructure to set up or manage. Again, as I said before, this is what I want to show you. There's no infrastructure to manage. There's like nothing you have to worry about. You just go into Athena and you can pull up the query editor and write down your query super quick. So yeah, it's something that facilitates like that query interaction that you want to have. And then for Amazon CloudFront, it's a web service that speeds up distribution of static and dynamic web content, such as HTML, CSS, JS, and image files. It delivers content through a worldwide network of data centers called edge locations. So again, it's like a way of like speeding up distribution of websites through like these edge locations that they call. So yeah, another really cool service that a lot of people use. Any questions about any of these services or comments? That's good. Okay, perfect. So now if you guys can go and log into your AWS Educate, where you read your count. And then so it should look kind of something like this, right? Is this what you all see? Yes, perfect. Okay, and then try to find, you can do this is what I did like for, if you want to find it quicker, if you do intermediate and then lab, you'll be able to see the ones that we're going to do. So we're going to work on, first off, we're going to start with this one. It's called Cancer Research Using the Cloud. And then the second one, logging to Linux instance using Amazon EC2 Instance Connect. This one is if we have time. Let's hope we do, but if we don't. So just go ahead and open this one. And as you can see, like all of the courses are kind of like this. It basically follows like you have your modules. It's kind of like a Canvas, honestly. And they have like a little intro of what the workshop's going to be. If you go into modules, you're going to see, there's this introduction to genetic research. So you guys, like, you're not going to do that right now just because it matters of time. But if you want to go ahead and do it at home, that's fine too. It's just explaining like how genetic research and AWS data storage works. It's giving you like a little introduction of the data that you will be handling. And then this is a little more of that discovery of cancer cell mutation and treatment. Again, going into like the data that we're handling, and a little bit more explanation of that. And then this is like the actual lab that we're gonna follow. So you guys are gonna go ahead and click here. And then you're gonna go to your lab. Okay. Are we all here? Yes. Okay, so you're gonna go ahead and click Start Lab. And then if you see this little thing, it just means that like if it's yellow, it means that it's loading, like the lab is starting. And then it's gonna be green, and once it's green, it's that like the console is ready to be accessed. So it's gonna take like a minute or so. And just wondering, how many of you are familiar with SQL? Or like know how to write SQL? Okay, nice. Well, this uses like very little SQL, and I'll just tell you guys like what to write, but yeah, I'll explain what the commands mean and everything. Yeah, there's a workshop next week actually, Intro to SQL, Mark's putting him on the spot. Did it turn green for anyone? Did you click it? I mean, did you click Start Lab? Sorry. You guys have to click here. Start Lab. And while it loads for everyone, this is like the actual AWS console. Like this is how I saw it in my internship every day, which like they have direct access to AWS, of course. So really cool. And like the only thing is that, of course, since you're doing this lab, the only like data that you're gonna be able to handle like within AWS, it's the data for this lab, and they don't let you upload. If not, you would have to like use actual AWS and like, pay for it. But I mean, it's a really cool way to like actually get a look into like the different services. So for example, we can go into S3 and you can see, so this is the bucket where like we have the data that we will be handling. This is the bucket where like our queries within Athena will go into like the data that we'll be using. But yeah, you can see just in general like how everything's like structured, and here you can go like look up like any services that you want. You're going to be using Athena, so we'll look it up. How's the console going? Is it green? Do you guys have it? No. Yes. Who's missing? No? Nice. Okay. Okay, so first up, you guys are gonna go and look up Athena, how we did. So you just go up here, look it up, click. And then, so yeah, this is what I was mentioning before. It's gonna be super simple. You can just go in, click query your data with Trainer SQL, and then launch query. So here is like the data that we're going to be handling. So here's like samples for the data, for the cancer research data. Again, let's keep that in mind that this is what we're looking for. And then if you expand here, you can also see the columns for the other tables, things like that. So I'm gonna read a little about like what the actual lab is asking us, so that you guys understand like what our goal is. So yeah, we're gonna start off with scenario 1. So there's this Dr. Wade and TP53 mutation. So a researcher, Dr. Wade, is curious about the distribution of different cancers among women in his oncology practice. In particular, Dr. Wade is wondering if any of these cancers are TP53 mutations. Use the subset of your data sets to help Dr. Wade determine what type of cancer in females is caused by the TP53 mutation. So this is like our prompt, basically like asking us what we have to do. And these are some of the questions that we're gonna have to answer. So we'll come back to this like once we actually look into the data. But first off, I would say like let's look into what each of these tables have, so we can like visualize in our heads like what is the data that we're trying to handle. So we're just gonna go and start off by doing select from samples, simple to anyone want to query? Yes? Like did it allow here? No? Yeah, let's see if it works like this. Okay, yeah, now it works. Okay, is it not working for anyone? Or is it working for all of you? Okay, perfect. So yeah, we're just gonna do a simple select star from samples. Again, for the people that don't know SQL, select star is just a way of seeing like what your whole table has. And we can see down here like what is the data that we're handling. So we have like sample source. This is just a sample organism, Homo sapiens. Sex, development stage, location of the cancer, and then this is like the tumor type. So yeah, we have that data, and then this is for the first table. Then we have the treatments. So we can go and select treatments, and then down here we have like the treatment options for each of the cancers, depending like on the different drugs, different stages that you want to handle, that the person is going through, or the doctor wants to handle. So that's the data that we're handling, okay? And then we want to go into the DCF. And then this is just showing the tumor, normal, and then type 2, annotated, and then name. And then here we can see this TP53 thing that like we were asking for. So again, if we look back, let's remember like what is our scenario. So he's asking us to use a subset of your data sets to help Dr. Wade determine what type of cancer in females is caused by the TP53 mutation. So we want to go in here and like write the actual query that's going to help us find what's the type of cancer and in these females. I'm sorry, the type 53 whatever mutation that is in these females. So okay, so since we know that in these tables, the one that has the sex of the person that has cancer is the samples. That's the one that we're going to use for a query. So we're going to go ahead and do select star from samples where sex equals female. And then you just run that. And then we can see like only the female ones within this table that have within the samples table, sorry. And then so we want to limit this, right, for the we want to limit these. We want to find which of these females have the TP53 mutation, right? And then we know that the TP53 mutation is going to be shown in this VCF table. So we want to pair according to like the sample source that we have, and then the tumor. Yes, there's tumor. So we want to find according to the tumor, so of each of these persons, and then that tumor is going to be in here, and it's going to tell us if the TP53 mutation is within like X and Y female. So how are we going to do that? The lab actually provides it very easy for us. If we run here and save, I don't know why it's not showing. If you guys go to saved queries, does it show something? No? Yes?
You can change your work group to cancer.
Oh, you're right. Smart. Thank you. Okay, so you can change your group to a cancer hunters. Did you all see that? How I did that? And then just acknowledge, and then okay, that's good. You have all your tables again. And if you go into save queries, if you click on this one, it's a number 2, female TP53 samples. So it basically writes up the query for you. Again, it's basically what I explained before. You're trying to find within this VCF table, and you're joining on the tumor within the sample and within the VCF table where the sex equals female, and the name is TP53. And we run this, and we can see here the sample source, location, and then tumor, and we can see that name TP53. So good, nice. That was the first scenario that they were asking us for. So then they're asking, what is the distribution of the location of cancer among female patients? For example, how many samples are from kidney, bone marrow, lung, or pancreas? So we can look in here. This is limited to the TP53 mutation. We can only see that there's pancreas, right? But if we were to go back and just run what we did before, so select star from samples, where x equals female. Then we can see that there's like different locations for all these different tumors, right? So the question is, what is the distribution of the location of cancer among female patients? For example, how many samples are for kidney, bone marrow, lung, or pancreas? So we could just do a group by, it's called in SQL. So again, don't worry if you don't know SQL, you can just write down what I'm saying. So you do select location from samples where sex equals female, and then you're gonna group by location. Run this query, and then we can see comma, count, start. And then you run that, and then it's gonna show you how many females have this type of cancer. So kidney 3, lung 2, bone marrow 3, pancreas 2, etc. So yeah, this is all using this samples table, and a really cool way to use AWS. And then we already answered this in the subset of female patients what type of cancer is caused by the TP53 mutation. If you guys remember, it was the pancreas that showed just for those 2 females in that table. So yeah, okay, perfect. Okay, now we're gonna jump into this other scenario, scenario 3. Dr. Santos, a researcher who specializes in kidney cancer, has asked you for help with some data set. She's interested in discovering which of her patients have tumor mutations that are substitutions that are not of an annotated type. She's also interested in your recommendations for treatments for these patients that she can share with her oncologist colleagues at the tumor board rounds on Tuesday. Okay, so that's a lot of information. But she's basically interested in discovering which of her patients have tumor mutations that are substitutions that are not of an annotated type. Again, I don't think, well, if any of you guys know what that means, that's really cool. I don't know what it means, but we just know we have the data to find what she's asking us for. And she's also interested in your recommendations for treatment for this data. So if we follow what the lab tells us, we're going to start off, we're going to go back to our query editor. We can close this query, and we're going to open a new one within the saved queries. So we're going to go to number 4, called kidney samples. So this is just doing a simple select star from samples where location equals kidney. So within all the samples where the cancer is within the kidney. So run that. And then you can see these 8 samples. Okay. Okay, we're gonna go back. Okay, so since we saw this data, okay, we have to remember kind of what we're seeing. So the kidney data, we have some male, female distribution, different sample sources, and then it just tells us the tumor types. And we go back to saved queries, and then we're gonna go to 5. This is another query. So it's called calculate kidney BC. It should be BCF. Okay, so yeah, this is just showing us the BCF plus the samples table for the kidney location. And then, so since she's asking us about have tumor mutations that are substitutions that are not of an annotated type. So first we have to find the ones that are substitutions. So where location equals kidney, we're gonna go ahead and do and type underscore 2 is equal to subs. So, okay, now this is 5. So that's the type 2 substitution. And then we want to have annotated being not, that are not of an annotated type. And I mean, for the people that don't know SQL, this is kind of how you usually have to like build your queries. Like you kind of have to go back and forth between like, what they're asking you for and like what you want to find in your data. It all depends also on like what the tables that you have, the data that you're handling, how much you understand it. And since this is something like cancer research where there's like words and stuff that you might not understand, it's really important to like know what they're asking you for and find those values like within the tables. So here we're gonna add another constraint. So we're gonna put and annotated equals. No. We run that, and then we have these 2 sample sources. So this is what she was looking for. Right. So they're asking us which patients or sample source have kidney cancer with a non-annotated substitution mutation. So it's going to be these patients, the ones that have these sample source. And then, so she's also asking us, this scenario is a little bit longer. She's also interested in your recommendations for treatments for these patients that she can share with her oncologist colleagues at the Tumor Board Grand Round on Tuesday. So, depending on the type of cancer for this patient, we want to know like, what are the treatments that she should use in her exposition. So, go back here, we see that it's kidney, the sample source, tumor types. And then, so yeah, we're gonna open another query, and we're gonna look up select all from treatments. So now we're using the treatments table, where location equals kidney. There it is. Okay, so we have all this information about like kidney patients, and so according to what the lab tells us, it tells us Dr. Santos provides you with the following contextual information from the oncologist to help inform your data analysis. Patient J, so if we go back here, you can see that patient J is one of the sample sources that we extracted. So it's telling us patient J is an early stage 2 of the disease, and then oncologists would prefer to treat them with a conservative approach. So we know they're in the stage 2, so we have these two options, and then we can find the third one. So in this case, for her, the answer would be radiation or surgical removal and observation. And then for patient P, so go back here, double check patient P, that's the one that we got. Patient P, however, needs more aggressive treatment because their cancer is stage 4. So we have stage 4, aggressive, they're going to use this drug, actually, but I don't know how to pronounce. So yeah, this was the other scenario that we had within the lab. If you guys, I don't want to make it too long to make all these queries and everything, but if you guys want to do this at home or if you have time or anything, you can go back here and you can see the lab instructions, which is kind of what I followed to guide you guys through using Athena. And yeah, you have the different scenarios. So here's scenario 1, the one that we did. Then there's scenario 2, which has like other SQL code, some other stuff that you have to look into. Scenario 3, kidney research. And then there's a 4th one also. So again, super cool way to look into what Athena is, how to use SQL within AWS. And yeah, it's 5:44, so we can start off doing the next workshop for 10 minutes or so. I can give you guys like a head start, and then if you guys want to complete it after at home or anything, because I don't want to take too much of your time. But I thought this was a really cool workshop because, well, I've never worked with this service, EC2, and a lot of companies use it actually. So yeah, it's logging into a Linux instance using EC2. So if you guys go back, you can close up your query editor for Athena. Again, if you want really cool way of using the AWS console, this is really how it looks when you use it for a regular service. So it would usually show you like the cost that comes with it, forecasted month-end cost, things like that, like whatever, how much you're consuming from AWS. And here, like, there's all the services that you can go into, like the different types of services. So you can explore that further if you want later on. But yeah, close here, and then close this lab. So any questions for now? I know I talked a lot. What do you guys think of the cool cancer research? Yes. Have any of you worked with AWS before? Nope. Nice. Oh, you said yes.
Oh, no.
Okay, so yeah, we can go into this one, log into a Linux instance. So again, a little introduction. This is basically what I explained before, how EC2 works and what it's used for. And yeah, so we're gonna go back to modules. This is like they have this video explaining a little bit more about Linux and EC2 instance. You can watch it at home also, and then we can start with the lab. Oh, actually, I didn't mention this before. So if you want to earn your certificates and everything, which is what we were mentioning before, they have these final assessments in each of the workshops. So you can take that exam at home or something, and then it depends on the workshops. Like some of them have badge options or not. I don't remember exactly the briefs yet. I think it's in the introduction, like in the explanation of the workshop, sorry. But yeah, it's a little like quiz, like 10 questions, I think. I took some of them. Really cool, really simple. So really easy way of earning badges and like showing off like your learning. So okay, we're going to log into a Linux instance lab. Open the lab. And then same thing, you're gonna click Start Lab, and it's gonna bring up a pop-up window, and it's gonna take some time to start. And meanwhile, actually, so this is what we'll be doing. And yeah, this is the lab guide that we're going to be following, so let's just wait for it. Did this show for everyone? The lab status? They have these surveys also for feedback and stuff. So this is what I was telling you before. Let me see.
When you launch a Linux EC2 instance, you need to log into it to run commands. Although there are many ways to do this, AWS offers Amazon EC2 Instance Connect. Amazon EC2 Instance Connect is a simple and secure way to connect to your instances using Secure Shell, SSH, to run any commands on your instance. In this course, you learn how to use Amazon EC2 instances are virtual instances that are provisioned in remote locations. Therefore, for you to use them, you must connect to them over the internet. After you are connected to the instance, you can use it as if it were a computer in front of you. AWS offers you 4 options to connect to your Linux instances. These include EC2 Instance Connect, Sessions Manager, SSH Client, and EC2 Serial Console. The process for connecting to each is different. However, after it's connected, each option offers the same user interface functionality. In this course, you focus on using EC2 Instance Connect. Amazon EC2 Instance Connect provides a simple and secure way to connect to your Linux instances using Secure Shell, SSH. With EC2 Instance Connect, you use AWS Identity and Access Management, or IAM policies, and principles to control SSH access to your instances. This removes the need to share and manage SSH keys. All connection requests using EC2 Instance Connect are logged to AWS CloudTrail so that you can audit connection requests. To connect to an instance using EC2 Instance Connect, you must create an IAM policy that grants your users permissions. Choose each marker in this sample IAM policy to learn about the actions and conditions to include in your IAM policy for Amazon EC2 Instance Connect. Next, you explore how to use EC2 Instance Connect. First, you need to configure the security group so that you can connect to the instance. To do this, you need to go to the Amazon IP range page. A link to this page is provided in the resource section of this course. On this page, you find the IP prefix for the EC2 Instance Connect service in the region that your instance is in. For this example, our instance is in Northern Virginia, or US East 1. Next, you need to find the security group for the instance that you want to connect with using EC2 Instance Connect. From your EC2 dashboard page, choose Instances in the sidebar menu pane.
Okay, so we're going to be doing this now. So we're going to stop the videos and stuff here. Mine still says, okay, mine says ready. Is yours ready? Yes. Cool. Okay, so we're going to close here. And then, so that happens, just do what I did, click log out, and then just click on it again, and it'll bring you back. Okay, so we're gonna follow the steps. When you start the lab, the following resources are already created for you: the AWS account, the VPC with a public subnet, a security group allowing SSH access from a temporary IP. So this is basically what we are looking at in the video. And then, so yeah, we're gonna first off, what we did, access the console. And then task 1, find the CIDR range for the instance connect service. So choose the following link to open the JSON file that provides the IP address ranges for AWS services. So you're gonna click here. Just do this. Okay. Okay, so yeah, what I did, I clicked on this. I think you're supposed to just open it in a different tab so you can actually keep going through that. But yeah, this is the different IPs that we're showing within like the video that we're looking at. So search the file for the EC2 instance connected entries. So it's gonna look something like this. So into a little Control F, EC2. Underscore instance. Okay. And well, so it's telling us to stop when we find the one for US East one. I'm just gonna scroll really quick. It's right here. It's the same one that they were showing us. So this is just to show you that like, here within this document you can find the IP ranges. But yeah, so you're gonna copy the IP prefix. So someone we have here. So US East one IP prefix, and I'm just gonna copy it. Allow access. Okay, so copy and IP prefix. Task 2, allow access from the EC2 instance connect service. So you must update the security group that is assigned to the Amazon EC2 instance to allow communication with the EC2 instance connect service. So this is just talking about that we need. Sorry, are you guys here for like the AWS workshop or for another one? Oh. Sorry, the what? Okay, at what time does it start?
It starts at 6.
6? Okay.
Yeah, we're
We're almost done. No, I mean, you guys can sit, it's fine. Just, this is not that, so you guys would know. But yeah, we'll just go through whatever we can really quick. We're gonna update the security group. So in the management console, services menu, enter EC2. So we're just gonna go back to our console. EC2. And then here. We're gonna go to instances and select the instance in lab server. So instances and lab server. And then launch. In the bottom pane, choose the security tab. So security. Lab security group, choose the inbound rules tab, choose edit inbound rules. Inbound rules tab. There's edit. Lab security group, choose the inbound rules tab, choose edit inbound rules. Did anyone find it? Yeah, where?
It might be the size of your window.
Yeah, I think it's a little. This?
Scroll. As the-
Inbound?
oh, there-
Edit.
yeah.
There we go. Okay, and then, so I think we're just gonna take this, choose edit inbound rules, choose save rules, then, okay, delete the source IP address, and then replace it with the EC2 instance that we copied. So I'm gonna go back here, we're gonna add, sorry guys, I've never worked with EC2. Yeah, I think we're just supposed to copy. I think I did say that. Well, anyways, I think we don't have enough time to go into this. I would have wanted to like go deeper into it. But I mean, yeah, this is something that I mean I have to learn a little bit more on, and we can all learn on that. But something really cool. Again, you can just like change your IP and then connect to some computer that is not like really here. It's a virtual server. So yeah, it's like a good way of using the console, AWS console, what I mentioned. You don't have to pay for these services; they're all free. And yeah, hope you guys learned something from this workshop. And just let me know if you have any questions or you want to talk about like, more of this stuff. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.